know, from the beginning. I've been doing lives every day for, I think it's over a week. I can't remember anymore. But I'm adding you, Evie. Um, okay. So, thank you. Good to see everybody. Um, oh, Evie, you said that you've been a silent mod. Thank you. Now you're an active mod. So we're doing things a little different tonight. I got a little too excited the last few nights. I've been trying to have all these dreaming women on my live, and I just feel like last night it was too many and it was exhausting. And I didn't even get to really share anything because I was busy moderating. And so tonight I'm going to talk, and I'm not going to bring any guests on till like 6:30. Just so also we have time to see who's here, and we live and we learn, right? And I have a friend who was getting on my case last night. Because I said, oh, I'm so exhausted after that live, and she came over and she's like, you know why you're exhausted, right? Because your guides did not tell you to invite the world to your live. They didn't tell you that you had to organize all the dreaming women on TikTok. But of course, that's just my tendency. I want to just organize I want everyone to come together. I like people to be united. I like community. And so, of course, I just like, oh yeah, let's just bring all the dreaming women together. Now, the wonderful thing that's happening is that I've been encouraging everybody to share their dreams, and then also just me kind of using this term dreaming woman and identifying a lot of other people on the app and saying, oh, that's a dreaming woman, that's a dreaming woman. I did that in one of my posts. And then inviting dreaming women into my lives has had a really wonderful ripple effect. And now a lot of dreaming women are going out and posting about this phenomenon, and they're organizing their own things. I just saw a post today, just before I logged on to the live, where someone had taken all the pictures from my live last night, all the pictures of all the dreamers. I guess they did screenshots or something, and then they made a post of all of our pictures and said, the dreaming women. That was so cute. And so, it's happening. And that's what my guide said to me the other day when I was saying, oh, I'm so tired and it's so hard to like organize. Like I was sending messages to all these people saying, oh, I want to invite you. And then I just invited like way too many people. And my guides were like, you don't have to do all that, because it's just going to unfold organically the way it's been doing. And so it doesn't have to. Sometimes we work harder than we need to, and it's especially if you're raised, from certain cultures where you're just raised to always work hard. Sometimes we just want to work hard at everything. We don't have to work hard at everything. So yeah, I'm just looking at some of the comments. So do I go live every night? Yes, I've been going live every night for about a week and a half at 6 p.m. PST. And so yeah, it's been like, a big part of my life. And today I was actually doing some work because my guides were like, you need to get a life. And you need to work on your work and do other things besides being obsessed with organizing and giving messages about dreaming women. Oh yeah, Magenta says, I really couldn't relate to so many people on your live. Yeah, I overdid it, right? I was trying to be super inclusive and just bring in a wide variety of people. A lot of people reached out to me and said they wanted to be on it, and I was like, okay. And so, we live and we learn. Thank you for that. So tonight, I'm looking at some of the questions. And so I am going to do the visualization meditation early in the evening, because last night we got so busy with our 25 guests that I forgot to do it until the end. So I'm just going to say a couple of things that I want everybody to hear. Um, oh, thank you, Jenny. She said I look beautiful in blue. Thank you for sharing your messages. Oh, you're very good at hosting others, says Stacy. Thank you. You know, I was a teacher for many years, and so I did have to learn how to moderate people, you know, talking. And oh, Debbie says she's looking for the link for my god sister. Okay, yeah. So I put it on Instagram, but I think I have to add it to my link tree. Um, so let me do that. Um, so someone just asked me, did I hear the speech tonight? And I didn't hear the whole speech. I just heard some snippets because I was off working. Um, but I heard, oh yeah, Janaki has family in town for her mother's funeral. Let's all send some light to Janaki because, you know, her mother just passed, and despite that, she's been coming on like almost every day and giving her messages, which is really supportive. So back to Biden's speech. I only saw some juicy bits where they were asking him who's responsible for the ceasefire. First of all, can we all just have a moment to bask in the joy of a ceasefire? You know, I've been a free Palestine person for, you know, 30 years. So I know a lot of people just jumped on this bandwagon, but it's been a part of my activism my whole life. And because, you know, a lot of activists feel that way, but also, you know, a lot of indigenous people feel very strongly about Palestinians as indigenous people who've been pushed off their land. And so for indigenous people, that's really what it's about. It's really not about Middle East politics. It's about people being pushed off their land. So so I'm just so happy to hear that there's a ceasefire. And oh yeah, Iris, we're talking about using code words, and here I am saying words that maybe we're not allowed to say. I don't even know. So maybe I shouldn't even be using the P word, even though it's just such, you know, exciting news. Because it's strange on here how a lot of times we can't talk about things in the news, and it's kind of hard to know which words not to use. But Biden's goodbye. Okay, I like that. We call him Dark Brandon, so I should just stick to that. Yeah, so CDK asked me if I could listen to it tomorrow and discuss. Yeah, so I'll listen to it between now and tomorrow. Yeah, so this is really good news. This is really good news. Oh yeah, so he also did say something about oligarchy taking shape in America and the abuse of power. Karen said it sounded like an anguish to give up. Well, you know, I'm not going to give up. Oh, we got Magenta from Standing Rock. Hey, Standing Rock in the house. Great to have you here. I was at Standing Rock as a medic during the big protest. Lotus Queen looked happy today. She did, and she had quite the attitude, didn't she? When those questions were being asked. So I'm distracted by all of this, but so I'll talk about that tomorrow. But for tonight, I'm going to do the meditation, and then I wanted to share a couple reminders with people of things that, you know, messages I've been receiving. And maybe I'll tell it as a story. So as the days counted down, and there were only a few days left before the big decision, the big transfer of power was meant to be made, people became anxious and nervous, wringing their hands and turning their dreams into nightmares, thinking of all the ugly possibilities that could become. And even though the dreaming women had been telling the people for so long to hold on, to have faith, to have hope, some people began to feel their hope diminish a little bit with each passing day. They began to worry when they didn't want to worry, and they began to allow fear to creep in where they had kept it at bay for so long. And even though they knew that deep in their heart, that deep in their intuitive knowing, even though they knew what the ending of the story would be, for it had been foretold, there was still a part of them that began to clench and quiver and shake. And they began to ask questions, and they began to notice little details that made them nervous. They began to poke at things. Well, why did he say that? Well, why did she not say that? Why haven't we gotten the news? Where's the big announcement? And these were hard times. But these were strong people. They had been through hard times before. And they had been waiting for 60, 70 days. They had been waiting, and they could wait a little longer. For there was something exciting happening in the land, something exciting in the realm, that at the same time that the days were being counted down and people were getting nervous and there was too much silence in the realm, at the same time that this was happening, that the leaders remained silent and the actions remained dormant or hidden behind closed doors, at the same time that this was happening, the dreaming women were abuzz. The dreaming women were busy. From the beginning of time, from the beginning of the time after the joust, after the electrical storm, when all of the women began waking up, and a few men and other genders too, but mostly women began waking up. From the very first night when they began waking up and sharing their dreams, there began to grow a community. More and more dreaming women had more and more dreams. And they began to get onto more and more stages and talk about them. And what began to happen in those last few days before the big day, what began to happen was the dreaming women started to come together. They were no longer standing on their individual platforms, speaking out their intuitive dreams, telling their intuitive stories, but they began to come together in groups, sharing the stage, sharing their dreams with each other and the world. And we began to see all of these groups of dreaming women organizing and coalescing around the realm, and plans were being made to extend and expand this dreaming woman phenomena. And there were men that started dreaming, and we started to have two spirits and third and fourth genders also dreaming and beginning to come out of their little caves and say, I had a dream too. And more of the quiet people began to speak out and say, I had a dream too. And they began to lose their shyness. They began to feel more comfortable sharing what they felt in their heart. And the more people that did this, the bigger the group became of dreaming people. And the dreams began to expand. And these people who had been shy, who had been nervous, who had been fearful of being made fun of, began to say, well, what else do I have to lose? Why not speak out? This is the time. And they began to speak out, not just to others who were also dreaming people, not just to people who were receptive to hear about their dreams, but they began to speak out to everyone. They began to tell their neighbors. They began to tell the cashier at the supermarket and the person at the laundromat. And they were walking down the street and they were talking to the other dog walkers about the same thing. And they were all beginning to share their dreams on all their platforms with all their family members. They even started to tell their coworkers, people that they just ran into casually at cafes and restaurants or at stores, running errands. Everybody started to share their dreams. And the more dreams were shared, the more dreamers emerged. And the more dreamers that emerged, the more dreams were shared. And as this dream sharing grew and grew, and as the community of dreamers grew and grew, the entire realm began to have hope. They began to shift their awareness, their consciousness, their vision for the future. And as the visions shifted, so did the realm. For everyone began to recognize that we are the creators of our world, and we can speak it into existence by the telling and the sharing of our dreams. That's the end of the chapter that I'm sharing tonight. We're in the home stretch. We're in the home stretch, people. I want to lead us in a meditation, a short, don't worry, it's not a long meditation, a short visualization. And then after I do that, I am going to open it up and see if there are some dreaming women who want to speak tonight. And but let's do our visualization. You know, my guides have been telling me for quite some time that it's important that I help everybody breathe every day and visualize the future, our future, the future that we want to see. And after I do this visualization, I'm going to look for questions in the chat and answer some questions, okay? So don't worry, I will answer some questions, and then we're going to bring some other people up so they can also answer your questions. And we're not going to do the introductions tonight. We're just going to answer questions. And so the people that I'm bringing up are people who are prepared to answer questions. And let's begin. So I'd like you to start by taking a nice deep breath. Just inhale slowly, hold it, and then exhale slowly. And as you take a few deep breaths, imagine that you are inhaling relaxing blue light, and it's going in and moving through your body, filling you with peace and relaxation. And with each exhale, imagine you are letting go of gray smoke, fear, doubt, worry. Just release it all with each out-breath. So you are inhaling the peace and relaxation, and you are exhaling the stress, worry, and doubt. Now place your attention on the crown of your head, on the top of your head, and notice there is a wonderful tingling sensation. There is a circle of bright white light, and as you focus on it, you begin to grow it up, up, up into a cylinder of bright white light. And you notice above you a giant golden sun, and you recognize this golden sun, for this is your higher self. So you plug your cylinder of white light into the golden sun, plugging your little self into your higher self, and you begin to charge up, receiving all of that divine source light flowing down into the crown of your head, filling you up with love and joy and power. And as that light moves down, it spins and expands each of your chakras, moving down all the way to your feet and around, encasing you in a giant bubble of rainbow light. Connected as you are to an infinite supply of source energy, you can begin to marinate and expand. Feel yourself getting bigger and bolder and brighter. In this expanded state, it's time to visualize the future. So look, if you will, ahead of you into the future, down the path. And as you look, I want you to see yourself in the future. Look at yourself in the future and notice what you are doing, what you are feeling, what you are being. Tune into that future self and just notice. Now expand your view out from yourself to your family and your friends, and notice, what are they doing? What are they feeling in the future? And now expand out again to your neighborhood, your community, your village, your city, your town, your hamlet. And notice, what are they doing and saying? We are in the future. What do you see in the future as you expand your view further out to your whole state or province, your county? What do you see? And now expand out to your whole country, your whole nation. What are people doing? What are they saying? And now, if you'll walk along with me as I share with you what I am visualizing, I can see the Lotus Queen on the dais in Washington with her hand raised in the air, giving an oath to protect and serve the Constitution of the United States on behalf of our realm. I can see crowds around her cheering, dancing, singing, and hugging one another. I can see my family celebrating with cake and champagne and sparkling cider. I can see my community hugging one another, feeling relieved and safe, unharmed. I can see and feel a future that is bright, that is full of justice and peace for our whole realm, for each one of us, for each of our families, our communities, and for our whole country. I can feel the progress, the ascension, as we lift our vibration together. And we are all connected now in the future, connected one with another, unified in a sense of oneness, and there is respect, mutual respect and love that we share with one another. And we can feel this love, this joy. We can feel it vibrating. And this love that we have, it extends beyond just humanity. We love also our fellow creatures, the plants and animals. We have love also for the beings that live in the ocean and under the earth, for the star beings. And we recognize that we are all in this together. Now visualize whatever it is you're meant to see at this time in these last moments. And now, when you're ready, let's bring these visions back with us. Let's bring this feeling of joy, of love, of interconnectedness, of peace, of justice, of oneness back with us into the here and now. Bring back the vision, bring back the feeling. And when you're ready, return your attention to the present moment and open your eyes. Spread hope, solidarity, and love. Is going to order pizza and drink a half glass of wine. Cheers. If you'd like to, please share in the chat what you saw, what you felt. If you have a vision that you want to share with the group, please do so. One thing you should understand about the dreaming women is that the reason we share our dreams is because the dreams are for everyone. You know, sometimes I think people think when they have a dream that it's just their dream. But you know, dreams are meant to be shared. Oh, I'm missing all the comments. Our collective hope, dancing in the streets. Her suit kept changing, blue, purple, white. Peace, love. Dark Brandon said, "We did it, kid," to the lotus. I got a feeling of love, a rainbow tornado. I saw truth and reconciliation, healing. I saw myself moving back to New York. You saw your sister's wedding. That was Levi. I saw animals hugging, dancing, and singing. I see people coming together. Becky says the message she received is that now is the time to shift our focus from hope into that of trust. Oh, I love that. I saw tears of joy in my family. People singing and dancing, feeling the love. We must trust, yes. Traffic is stopped in DC, someone said. Everyone is dancing in the streets. Holding my neighbors and just crying with so much relief. You know, we're coming together, aren't we? Saw red hats looking around as if they just woke up. Yes, it's happening. They're waking up. You know, there's that recognition. And you know, we're going to be a purple people. We're not going to be red and blue anymore. We're going to be purple. We're going to come together. Aaron said tonight when you talked about star beings, I got a vision of the night sky and flashing lights. No more need to run. Yes. Gathering for the march. Janine. A human chain. Oh, Becky said that they've waited their entire life for this community of sisterhood. The purple party. Yeah, Snap123 says, you know, Biden's warning. We're not supposed to use those words. I forgot. Let's try to not use the names, people, just because I'm trying to keep my account up. Warning of an oligarchy helped wake the red team up. Yeah, I think that's why And let me talk about that a little bit. My mom getting her house. That's beautiful. Um, sorry, I just had to take a moment because I always wanted to buy my mom a house, and I don't even have a house. But I thought one day I'm going to have the money to buy my mom a house. But my mom passed, and I didn't get to, so I just had a moment when you said that. So I hope your mom gets her house. Um, yeah, there was something I was going to say. What we have to keep in mind um, is that a lot of the speeches that we're hearing and things that are being said are not really for us, you know. They're a part of that FAFO, that consciousness raising aspect, right, that my guides have talked about in my previous posts, that the amount of time it's taking for the revelation is directly related to how long it's taking for certain people to evolve their consciousness. And because recall what I had seen in another chapter of my story, let me just stop here to say this live is for entertainment purposes only. I'm just telling stories. But remember, in one chapter of my story, I talked about how when the leaders got together, the blue leaders, and they also got together with leaders of other realms, other places that were also having problems with their jousts, that when these people got together and they were trying to figure out how to stop Starboy, who is got this mission of world domination along with Rasputin, and he's going around the world finagling different jousts. And so there's lots of different realms that are up in arms about this and are having meetings. That one of the things that they've been trying to figure out is the timing. And they told me that they kept putting numbers like into a computer and running the numbers to try to figure out when was the best time to minimize the damage or the possibility of internal conflict, and that the timing has to be just right. And so